Hi everyone, hope you're having a lovely weekend. I wanted to make a short video for the new moms out there. I've been getting quite a few queries about a few aspects of what you do once you're home with your brand new baby. So first and foremost, a huge congratulations on this most amazing blessing and this wonderful new journey that you are beginning. So when you arrive home with your baby, they'll still have their umbilical stump attached, right, with that little peg-like thing that's closing the umbilical cord. So what we want is for that to dry up so it can fall off. For that reason, and part of the fact that we actually want the baby to still keep some of the bacteria and that substance on their skin, like that whitish stuff that they're born with, on their skin for at least 24 hours, but it would really be good if we could push to 48. The advice is not to bath your baby in the first 24 to 48 hours. So when you do then start cleaning your baby with the sponge and soapy water, my advice is in your first bath, those first few days, try not to wet that area with the umbilical cord because you want it to dry up. And in terms of cleaning that stump, just plain water with gauze or cotton wool should be fine. If you're noticing that there's a bit of a funny smell, then you can use surgical spirit to just clean that area. We don't cover it up, no gauze or cotton wool. We don't bandage that area up. Bandaging has not been proved to protect the baby from having a hernia, so we don't cover that area at all. So we've dealt with the bath, we've dealt with the umbilical stump. Now in terms of going back to the doctor. So in the first 10 days, the baby loses a little bit of their birth weight, right? So studies say it's up to 10%. So we want to know that after 10 days or 2 weeks that they've regained their birth weight and that their weight trajectory is now going up. So that's why you then need to go back either to your pediatrician or to a GP or to your midwife or nurse and get the baby weighed. That's that 10-day visit. They'll ask some questions, make sure that breastfeeding is going okay or whichever type of feeding you've opted for, and that just that very sensitive, delicate postpartum period is going all right. Cool. So in terms of now vaccines, where and when. So the first vaccines will be given at the hospital. So it's going to be the oral one and the first BCG for TB. After that, at 6 weeks, 10 weeks, 14 weeks, you have to take the baby somewhere to get those injections. So a lot of people have been asking me, where do we go? So my advice is, if you're happy with the pediatrician at the hospital where you delivered your baby who's been coming to see your baby, you can inquire from them, doc, when we come to see you, do you offer vaccines? And they'll tell you yes or no. Right. If they do not, there are several options. Let's start with where you delivered. So some of the private healthcare hospitals actually have baby clinics. So I think Netcare has a mommy and baby wellness clinic. So you can go there. It's run by nurses and they'll provide the vaccines. They weigh the babies. They'll talk to you about milestones, etc. Close to where I used to stay, in Olivedale, the hospital was Olivedale. They had a baby clinic and the nurses there were great. So I think Netcare has, I think Mediclinic might have, but not all hospitals attached to these brands have a baby clinic. So you need to find out when you're going home, does this hospital actually have such a facility? Then some of the pharmacies, the big chain pharmacies, right? So the brands, Dis-Chem has a baby wellness clinic. It's run by nurses. They'll give the baby vaccines. The likelihood is that for some of them, you will have to pay. And there's certain vaccines that they'll tell you. So there's vaccines that are on the government schedule, and then there are vaccines that are not on the government schedule or on the private hospital schedule. So for those ones, if you specifically want the ones that are on the private hospital schedule, you may have to pay extra for those, and you may actually need a prescription from a doctor for those. So, it really just depends what you're comfortable with. I think Clicks also has a baby clinic. Some Clicks do have pharmacies, do have clinics with nurses who actually provide the service. And some, like I said, some doctors do provide the service, but you'd need to find out. And then you can also take your baby to your local government clinic. Okay? Depending on where you stay, this service is actually for free. You don't have to pay for the vaccines. The only thing that's going to happen is you're going to wait. You are going to sit in a queue. We know how our state system goes, but your child will get all the vaccines and it's free, right? Versus paying 2,000-3,000 for something that the government actually provides. So I hope this is helpful. This is at least what you need to know for the first 6 weeks of your baby's life. Good luck, and I'll be in touch. I'll be making more of these videos to try and help parents out there with these issues of growing children.